Not an ideal situation.
What is up, chocolatiers? So, I just got done watching Mike and Nick and Alice, a movie that I was not expecting to love as much as I did, but I had quite a fun time watching this one. So, if you have been around the channel, if you have not, I'm going to give you my usual spiel. I usually grade these streaming movies a little bit differently just because, you know, they're on the streaming platform. I'm not spending gas to go out here and watch it. Clearly, the studio didn't want to put it in theaters because they either thought it wasn't gonna be as good or something that could make money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so there's some caveats I feel like there. I feel like that's fair. And usually last year especially, I think only one streaming film I liked that I actually hated most of them. I was like, oh my God, these are awful. But this year, they have turned around. There's been a couple out there I've liked. There's been a couple that I almost loved. And just even recently watching something like Pretty Lethal on Amazon, I was like, hey, this wasn't like a masterpiece, but it was pretty decent, right? And here we are, Mike and Nick, Nick and Alice. This is awesome. This is such a fun time. And I do say so myself to tell you that I recommend this film. This has been a first ever, turning a new leaf. It's like waking up on the right side of the bed. I was like, oh my God, I really enjoy this one. Okay, so let me get into the plot and let me set the stage for you. So basically you have Vince Vaughn's character of Nick, who is, you know, kind of dumb, but also kind of awesome in this film. So he sits there and this guy owes them some money because, like I said, they're like crime bosses and forces, whatever, stuff like that, in the organized crime world. And this guy makes a time machine. And so Nick walks into it, comes out, these lights are shining. Dude's got a gun pointed at him because he doesn't know what's going on. And he ends up shooting and killing the guy. And it like destroys half his work, like his stuff's burning, whatever, this and that. So he cannot travel again. This was like a one and done trip. And he is from 6 months into the future. Now he's back in the past. And now that he's back into the past, he is there to help Mike, who is played by James Marsden, in order to help him survive because they think these like the organization they work for, they think that he is a rat and a snitch and got my boy Keith David's son into prison for, I believe, 10 years or something like that. And so you have Alex coming into play, who's Eiza González, because she is Nick's wife, but James Marsden's character of Mike is also going with her, so she gets involved because there's clearly an affair going on here and blah, blah, blah. And so you end up having two Nicks. You have the one from 6 months ago, you have the one from the future, and then you have James Marsden's Mike, and then you have Eiza González's Alice. And so it sounded like a lot, and it kind of can get confusing with these time travel films, but basically what you just need to know is there's two Vince Vaughns, one from the future, one from the past, and then you've got James Marsden, and you've got Eiza González. And so they're basically trying to stop James Marsden from getting killed. That's what the whole plot of this movie is. There's a cannibal bounty hunter guy who is coming to collect his bounty. He wants to get him alive so he can eat him, and it's kind of scary. But where this film really works is, I think, the way that it's filmed, the way that it's shot. It might not work for everybody, but it worked for me. It's very old school-esque. They're doing a lot of callbacks. Like they got like these like little slow motion shaky cams. I was like, bro, Transformers 2008. I said, what are we doing here? I was eating it up. I loved it. I think that the jokes landed for me. Vince Vaughn, I really love. I know they don't really make his type of movies anymore, unless you're Adam Sandler with your little Netflix deal out there. And even then, the quality is dropped on those films. But I really feel like just looking at this movie, just looking at these performances, and just how much fun they were having on set, this isn't anything like major or crazy or anything like that. But I feel like if I saw this at theaters, I'd be like, man, this is a really great time. I had a lot of fun because it doesn't really get too confusing or convoluted with the time travel stuff. They don't really get any kind of crazy and this and that. And I really feel like just for the most part, you just have this group of characters who are just having fun because you've got two of the same guy. Like I said, you got two different Vince Vaughns. One's more, like I said 6 months ago, he's more hardcore, rough, gruff. He doesn't really care. He is in that crime mindset. And the other one's like, hey, try to save my best friend, right? Because he's lived through that night before of him getting killed and taken, and like I said, framed for something that he did not do. And so, yeah, for me, I really, really enjoyed this film a lot. Like I said, I think the callbacks, I think the performances, I think the way it's filmed, I think is really, really fun. I actually, I guess I can say this here. I don't think I've ever seen a Keith David movie like where he's in it at some point or show or whatever that's been bad. He knows how to pick his projects. So when I saw he showed up, I said, let me go and sit back and relax. I said, and get comfy because Keith David's in this, and that means it's going to be probably a banger. And it was. Keith David's in this film. He's very fun. The guy who plays his son, I can't think of his name, but he's the one that was at the beginning of Scream 7, and he was also he played Rooster in 22 Jump Street. That guy's hilarious. All of his scenes are very, very funny. One of my favorite scenes in this film is a Gilmore Girls scene where they basically spoil the whole show, and I think it's hilarious because they're sitting around and like you've got people coming to kill them, you got crazy stuff going on, whatever, and they're just actually like talking about Gilmore Girls. And I just thought stuff like that while I was like, okay, that's dumb. It's so funny. Like I was loving how they were like being like these crime guys were like just being so serious about this. And yeah, you know, I'm an Eiza González fan ever since Baby Driver. I think that she's good. She's not one of those ones where I'm like, oh my God, like this is like the most insane performance ever, but she's doing her job here. She's doing great. James Marsden's always fun to see. Like I said, Vince Vaughn's always fun to see. I hate that, you know, we're in this state of mind where if they made something like a Dodgeball today and it came out, nobody would go see it or care. And then you'd have people online say, oh, they don't make original stuff anymore. Well, okay, you didn't go see it. But even though I hate that, the stuff that he's in, like something like Bad Monkey on Apple TV and then something like this, they're so good. He's picking his projects well. And so, yeah, with that, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I think that for a stream movie, I think that this is pretty stellar. This is pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. It's on Disney Plus and Hulu if you have those. And so, yeah, that's it for me. I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. And so with that, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film if you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you did not, tell me why. And with that, like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.